Hello, good morning, Empire Creators. Hello, hello, hello. Um, I am having a hair issue. I'm just kidding. I had my hair in like a clip and then I just took it down because it was bothering me. So this is the situation this morning. But I also woke up a little congested. I don't know if you guys can tell. I don't know why, but my energy is here. I am so excited to chat with you guys about this topic, which I feel like a lot of people have either experienced in their business before, or maybe you're experiencing this right now in your business. And if you are, comment below. First of all, let me know that you are tuning in live if you are here live. And if you're catching this on the replay, let me know that you are here on the replay. We have a lot of new people in this Facebook group community. So if you are tuning in, you're like, what is going on here? Every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, I do a weekly live show called Empire Creator Live, where basically I come on here and I talk about all things on how to grow your 6+ figure brand and business. Every single week, the topic is different. Sometimes I talk about what I'm experiencing, things that are happening behind the scenes of my business. Sometimes the conversations are really deep and vulnerable. Sometimes they're around mindset, and then sometimes they're a lot more like strategic around like what to actually do in your business. So if you're new and you're like, what is going on? Just mark this in your calendars. Every Monday morning, you can show up and you can attend. Okay. I swear I'm going to be playing with my hair all this entire live. Okay, I'm done. So let's see who's tuning in. Hello, Sonia. Anyone from the UK? It is 4 p.m. It is 11 a.m. here. Hello, Kristen. So good to see you here live. So as always, right before going live, I mean, like maybe an hour ago, I was thinking about what do I want to talk about today? And what's been on my mind is kind of like we're midway through the year. And I know some people have either maybe plateaued in their business, or they're not necessarily where they want to be at their business, or maybe like you did a really good job maintaining where you are at in your business, and you're like, now I am ready to scale. I am ready to go beyond what I have done, and I need to get out of this place. Okay, so I'm going to go through some tangible things that you can do to either get out of the plateau that maybe you've been stuck in for a few months, or to just like expand yourself to the next level. Now, I'm also really excited because this morning I carved out the theme for Monetize Social Membership in July, and it just goes hand in hand with what I'm talking about today. Who knows, maybe I'll announce at the end of this live, because you know me, I'm always crazy and I do those things. But I'm really excited to talk about all things when it comes to getting out of the plateau. Is Sabah glitchy on anyone else's screen, or is that just me? I don't know. My Wi-Fi's been a little in and out this morning too. So anybody else, it seems like, because I have it pulled up on my phone, it seems like it's okay on mine. So hopefully it is. If it goes out or something, just let me know. But I want to start off by saying, if right now you're at a plateau in your business, like it is just like this, like you're maybe signing on the same amount of clients, you're getting the same amount of views on your content, maybe you're bringing in the same amount of cash every single month, like energetically, you just feel like this same every single month. The first thing that I always do, and I have always done every time I feel like I am at a plateau in my business, is I plug into support system. So I plug into my mentor, I plug into my coach, I plug into resources and information that will get me out of that plateau. So usually like two things happen when you're in a plateau, either like energetically, mindset wise, you're in a plateau, or like strategically, you're in a plateau. So what you want to do is either learn the steps and how to get out of that plateau, or you need like energetic support to get you out of like the mindset in order to continue moving. So I have found every time I feel that way, I need to get support from my coach or mentor or like a resource. Now, you guys already know I'm a firm believer in having long-term support and mentorship when it comes to building and scaling a business, right? Because at every single level in your business, you're going to experience different things when it comes to your mindset, different things when it comes to sales, different things when it comes to marketing, just different things that you would need to know in order to continue like growing and scaling. So right now, are you actually getting support from your mentor? Moment of silence. Are you actually getting support from your mentor? Because I remember there was a time in my business where I plateaued and I was probably bringing in like the same number of clients every single month. And I'm like, okay, like what's going on? Like, why am I not bringing in more clients? And I realized I wasn't necessarily like plugging into my mentorship intentionally, and I wasn't keeping up with the actions that they were giving me. Right. It's like sometimes as business owners, we're just like in the business, like we know how to market, we know how to sell, we know how to do the things. So we're like, oh, I don't really need to, plug into training, or I don't need to plug into my mentorship, or I don't need to like ask questions because I feel like I've already asked that like a million times. Or I feel like maybe I'm asking like the same type of questions. Every time I plug into mentorship, into coaching intentionally, asking the right type of questions and actually implementing the guidance that I get from my coach, I get out of that plateau. Like every single time I jump, every single time. And one of the reasons is because number one, getting support from somebody else in a mindset and energetic way gives you the confidence and certainty to get out of that plateau, right? It's almost like little kids like going to their parents, and that's definitely not the dynamic when it comes to coaching relationships, but you guys like get the analogy that I'm trying to get at. It's like if your parents tell you, yes, you can you can do it, you have the skills, like you have the personality, like you can win that game, you will probably perform better because you have like that support system from somebody else. Same thing or similar thing when it comes to like coach mentor dynamic. It's like one thing that one of my old, not even coaches and mentors told me, but it was one of my old friends, which I'm still friends with, but like this was years ago when I first got started in business. I looked up to him because he was a coach, and that's when I was like, oh, I might want to get into coaching. And I was creating videos on social media. And one thing he told me, which I will never, ever, 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 ever forget, is he told me this: Sabah, sometimes I feel like I believe more in you than you believe in yourself. Sometimes I feel like I believe more in you than you believe in yourself. And I'm like, ooh, like that really hit me deep, because when someone tells you that, it's like, ooh, they see the potential in you, yet you're not living up to that potential. So it's almost like you have to live up to that potential now, because it's somebody close to you, it's somebody you look up to, but it's also somebody who has done so much more than you have. Sometimes it is that coach, that mentor, someone that's ahead of you. And I see that a lot with my students, with my clients, and I tell them, it's like, I see the fucking potential in you. It's like everybody that's watching, I see the potential in you. And I know that is like I say this all the time, I know that's my superpower. It's like giving people, it's not even giving people, but showing people the capabilities and the potential that they do have to go out and create something that is so unforgettable. It's like, if you speak to me and you talk to me, you will go after and chase your dreams. It doesn't matter when, doesn't matter why, doesn't matter how, it's like, you will go do it. So plugging into that mentorship, into that support, it'll allow you to get out of maybe some of the negative thoughts that are happening in your head, or like, oh, I've been at this place for so long, how am I going to get out of it? It's been like this for a few months or a few years, how am I going to get out of it? Yesterday, I posted a reel on Instagram last night, and it said something like, POV, just because they did it faster than you doesn't mean they did it better than you. And that is something a lot of people need to remind themselves. I know I need to remind myself of that. Just because someone did it faster than me does not mean they did it. Just take that in for a second. So when you plug into that mentorship, to that coaching, it gives you kind of that push to get out of like the plateau you're at. Now, the other piece of this is strategically, maybe you have been continually doing the same thing over and over and over again in your business, or it might not be the strategy that needs to be changed, but the intentionality towards the strategy that needs to be changed. Last week in Monetize Social Membership, we just finished up sold out services. It was a 3-day workshop on how to create, launch, and sell out your offers. And something that I mentioned towards the end of that workshop was, if you guys have been doing this, but intentionality isn't there, refinement isn't there, actually work on every single piece of the puzzle you haven't done, and maybe it's like half-assing the launch, then maybe that is why you're still getting the same results. Maybe that is why it's only 1 or 2 clients that join. Or maybe it's like you just need to do it on like a bigger scale. Maybe now it's time to get on a different platform, or maybe it's time to collaborate with different people. And most of the time, the funny thing is when you are at a plateau, a lot of the times you know what the next steps are in order for you to like get out of that plateau. Usually it is. And if you're like, no, I don't know, that is where like mentorship and getting support from a coach really, really helps. Okay. Kristen, I get told this a lot. And Kristen, I think I've probably even said it to you. It's like, I know you have like what it takes. Like, it's not about, you don't have it, the skill isn't there, like the resources aren't there. It's like, you have it. And a lot of the times it's just like, we're in our own way. And it can be a lot of things in terms of like fear of success, fear of responsibility, the fear of making sure like we do our best, the fear of like, oh, what if people don't get results? Like, there's a lot that goes into why someone might be plateaued or why they can't break through that ceiling. Now, it was in the book, what's it called? The Big Leap. It's been a while since I've read that book. That's a really good book. I highly recommend. I should have added it into my YouTube video that I created yesterday and I launched, but it's a book that I read about a year ago this was not a year ago. This was maybe like 2 years ago when I plateaued in my business. And one of my coaches told me to read this book, The Big Leap. And basically what it talked about was floors and ceilings in your business. Floors and ceilings in your business. So usually there's like, it's actually such a good concept. I'm going to try to explain it just as well as the book, but it's been a while since I read it. So basically what it talks about is in your business, there is actually not even just in your business, but in your life, you have a floor and then you have a ceiling. So the floor is basically, you will do anything and everything in your power to never go below that floor in your business. So maybe for you, it's like, I will never go below $5,000 a month, or I'll never go below $10,000 a month in my business. It's just like, nope, if you're like getting in the rent zone, you'll do anything and everything possible to get the clients and it works. It's like, you'll never go below that floor. And this even works for like money, like in your bank account, you will never go below $10,000, or you'll never go below like $100, like whatever that is, like you will never go below that certain number. That is your floor. And then you have a ceiling in your business where it's like, maybe you're hitting this consistently, or maybe it's like when you push really, really, really hard, you hit that ceiling, and that ceiling might be $10,000 a month in your business, or $20,000 a month, or maybe it's like $100,000 in your bank account, but it's like, you either go spend that money or you invest it or something happens. And it's like, you never exceed that ceiling. You never exceed that ceiling. So the analogy basically in the Big Leap is, how can you make your ceiling your floor? How can you make your ceiling your floor? Where it's like, it's no longer your floor is, let me just get enough to get by. But it's like, how can I make what I have done that's extraordinary in my business my new ceiling? Where it's like, that is the norm now. It's not making $10,000 a month as, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But it's like, that's the floor. If I don't make that, then it's like, let's be the person who can actually make that. Now, it's a book that I recommend reading, but it talks about different things that keep you stuck in your business when it comes to the fear of outshining other people. If I can remember the four, it's like the fear of outshining other people, the fear of not like getting the support from like friends and family, like the fear of, I can't remember the other two, but I remember for me, it was for the longest time, the fear of outshining other people. It's like the fear of moving too fast, the fear of getting success too fast, the fear of people not understanding me if I'm growing too fast. And I remember that held me back for a very, very long time. What if I show up and people don't get it? What if I'm too much and people judge me? What if I put myself out there, do like the over the top, and people think I'm no longer like grounded? Like those were the things that I thought for a very, very long time. And switching even just like the mindset and the mentality too, I know and I trust that me being 100% me, over the top, whatever that is, I trust that the same people are able to hold their over the top and greatness that matches mine. So there is no judgment from other people because they're also in their power at all times. So right now it's like, I would even do this as homework for this week. Like look at what is your ceiling? Actually, what is your floor first? What is something that you never go beyond or go below in terms of your business, in terms of your bank account? What's like, nope, I will not go below that. Then what is your ceiling that maybe you're maintaining, but it's like you just cannot push beyond that? And I challenge you for the rest of June, because we still have about like a week and a half, 2 weeks left. How can you show up as if your ceiling is your new floor? As if your ceiling is your new floor, where it's like that just normal. It's normal for you to make $10,000 a month. It's normal for you to make $5,000 a month. It's normal for you to make $50,000 a month. I know some people where their floor is $100,000 cash every single month. It's like they freak out in all areas if they're not at that point. And naturally, it ascends them to like get to that point because that's just their normal. It's also like, I love to use analogies because it helps people understand different ways and different perspectives. It's also like when it comes to dating, people usually attract the same type of people in their life. It's like, oh, I feel like I've dated you before, right? It's like, why do I always attract the same men? Why do I always attract the same girls? It is because you have that as your normal. It's like, that just your normal. That is just who you attract. That is just what happens in your life, in your business. It's normal, of course. Like, of course that happens. But it's like, what if you could make what you actually desire your normal? And I genuinely believe getting out of a plateau is more about mindset and energetics than it is strategy. Like it can definitely be strategy, especially if you don't have like marketing in place, you don't have offers in place. And this is also very situational because in your business, if you're already making $10,000 a month, maybe it is adding a new offer that's higher ticket or maybe lower ticket that can bring you in additional revenue, right? And that I believe and I know and I trust that all of you guys know whether or not that's the case. And if it is, you would make the decision to launch that offer so it adds more revenue to your business every single month. But a lot of the times it is mindset and energetics that keeps people blocked. And I think about this topic actually a lot. I think about it a lot. It's like, why can people scale beyond their means, do the fucking impossible, make it possible? Like how, right? How is that possible? Why is that a thing? It is because they normalize the heck out of it. It's normal. It's like, I celebrate my wins. I celebrate every small thing that happens in my business, but at the same time, I'm like, of fucking course this happened. Of course. It's normal. It just happens. Of course. I just made $1,000. Of course I did. I just made $100. Of course I did. Of course. I remember when I started my business, well, so this was actually when I moved from Iowa to Florida in 2020. It was end of 2019 going into 2020. That's when I was like semi-coach, still kind of service provider. I had a lot of different offers. I was doing like done for you services, one-on-one coaching, like here and there. It was on and off. And I was maybe making like $2,000 a month, $1,000 to $2,000 a month. It was very inconsistent, but I had enough saved up to move to Florida. And I remember I packed up my car and I drove from Iowa to Florida. And I told myself, I have about 3 to 6 months. I think it was maybe like 3 months, actually, 3 months of money to live off of. And I'm crazy like that. I'm like, I have maybe 3 months. And I'm like, okay. Usually I make like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. I'm like, now my normal has to be $10,000 a month. Like that's just what's going to happen. And for me, when I moved, I'm like, I am going to change who I'm being and my identity to match what I have to make in order to live. So I remember when I moved, I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but I remember when I moved, it was like February of 2020. I made $0 that month. I mean, $0 that month. And it was because I was trying to find a place. I was all over the place. I was like settling into like just Florida in general. I had never moved out of my hometown for a long period of time. And I remember I had a conversation with myself. I'm like, okay, your like floor for the longest time has been like maybe $1,000, and maybe your ceiling was like $3,000 or like $4,000. Like you haven't gone beyond that. And I remember telling myself, every single fucking day, people make $10,000 a month. I see it happen on social media. I see people doing their corporate job. Like it's not something that's hard. Like it's not hard to do. Like I had the offers to make it happen. So it wasn't like I was selling a $10 offer and I had to sell like, thousands of them in order to make $10,000. I was selling something that was like $2,000, maybe $4,000. I can't quite remember. So I'm like, I have the offers to actually make that a reality. I only need 5 clients max to make that happen. I'm like, okay, that's easy. That is easy. So I started to approach every single action in my business with this mindset. I'm like, okay, it's simple. Like other people have done, like, why can't I? And I remember I crafted out a 5-day challenge, a workshop, same thing that I teach you guys in Monetize Social Membership. And I probably even mentioned it, like the flow of it in free masterclasses I've done in this group. But like that was my process. Like I would do a challenge, I would do a masterclass, invite people into it. They would learn from me for a few days. And then at the end, I'd pitch them into an offer. And I remember I thought about if I was making $10,000 a month, I would actually put a lot of fucking intention behind it, because people that are real business owners, they don't half-ass their business because it's their business. They're a CEO. They don't show up and just do what they think needs to be done and then like just relax. Like they actually like they're running a business. They're running a business. So, like I also think of sometimes, and I thought about this, if I was an employee in my actual business, would I half-ass it? No. Because I'm an overachiever and I always go above and beyond. So back then I'm like, why am I not going above and beyond in my business? If I knew my salary was $10,000 a month, you bet your fucking ass I'd go above and beyond and make that happen and get bonuses and go beyond it. So I took that mindset, and guess what happened? It wasn't like the following month, but it was like the month after. I made $12,000 in my business. Moment I broke my ceiling. Normal. My new That's what it is. And I didn't plateau. Like I never went back. Oh, says my connection is unstable. Hopefully I'm back. Okay, I think cut out just for a second. I never went back to making $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I never went back to it. So for all of you, use that same mentality, use that same mindset, because I know almost every single one of you guys that are watching, whether you're live or on the replay, you either have the resources to know what to sell in order to make your goal amount, or you can get access to the resources. Sometimes it comes down to like how bad, and I'm going to check the comments, how bad do you actually want it? How bad do you actually want it? How bad do you actually want it? Because I am somebody who trusts faith in God, in the universe, and all at the same time. I don't wait for it to happen. I make it happen. I want something, I go after it. I want something, I make it happen. But I also am like, I also know that attraction has been with that. I say that a lot. Attraction in your life, in your business, doesn't happen without action. So let me look at the comments. Kristen, moving my ceiling to my floor in all areas of my life, including dating. Sorry, boys, there's a new set of rules today. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, this doesn't just have to do with business. This has to do with your life. This has to do with your life, with health, with fitness, with your personal life, with your bank account, with everything. It's like, if your ceiling or if your floor is always like, I work out just enough where I look okay in clothes, but it's like, you want to look fucking fabulous in clothes because that's just what you desire. That's what you want. Are you just going to settle for looking okay? Or are you going to like ball out and actually get the body that you deserve and you want? It's like, you know what to do to make it happen. Maybe you got to cut out some sweets, eat a little bit better, work out every single day. You know what to do. But it's like, why do we not do it? Because we're comfortable. Why do we not do it? Do it because what we have right now is okay. We're not in pain. We're not homeless. Like we're not in the red. I call like, we're not in the red zone. We're not below the red zone. We're okay where we're at. We're comfortable. We're fine. But you guys are in my world because you are here to be fucking unforgettable in your life, build the most unforgettable. And this doesn't mean doing it out of lack, doing it out of scarcity and hustling yourself to the ground to make it happen. This means it's possible for you because you go out and take the action to make it happen. Sania, that must have been scary to move completely and then make nothing. Yeah, it definitely was. Love that mindset. That's it. Preach. Let me tell you, when I said last week I do a live on Instagram, I did this morning. Yes, I love it. Way to go, Sanya. Post on monetize social membership community because people are going to get so inspired by you. They are. Okay. I want to hear because we're 30 minutes in and sometimes I go for an hour, but I feel like I've said what I need to say, guys, out of that plateau. So you know now what you need to do to get yourself out of that plateau. With your clients, with your sales. And next month in Monetize Social Membership, we are jumping in July. This is the theme because it just goes so hand in hand with a topic that I have to share. We're jumping in July. For the theme in Monetize Social Membership in July, I am talking about a very big concept, how to make massive quantum jumps and leaps in your business from an energetic and strategic place with money and attraction. So what I just shared with you, what happened when I moved to Florida, went beyond $10,000 a month, $10,000 in a month. I hit $12,000, and how I've done it numerous times in my business in my life. every single day in the month of July, you're going to get an action step to make that happen in your business, in your life. And I swear, this was back in March. I did money mindset in the membership, and people made a lot of money. Every time I do something around money, every time I do something around energetics, my connection is a little unstable. Okay, I think we're back. Every time I do something around money, every time I do something around energetics, people jump. People make so much more money than they ever thought was possible. They thought making $5,000 was a lot, or they thought making $10,000 was a lot. Suddenly they make 20,000. Like, I'm not joking. This happens. So that is the theme for July in Monetize Social Membership. If you are not in Monetize Social Membership, I don't know what you're doing. You need to be in there. Send me a DM and I will get you the link. That is literally the place to be to grow your social media, sign on clients, and build the most unforgettable life and business ever. Okay. So that is the theme in July that I'm so excited for. And the last thing I also want to mention is Empire Experience that is happening in October. This is my first ever live event happening October 6th and the 7th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We have people from all across the world flying in this 2-day experience. As I'm outlining what I'm going to be sharing Friday night and all day Saturday, like I don't even have words. You are going to leave this in-person experience one weekend with your brand done, your marketing done, your content strategy done, your sales process done, and most importantly, embodying the real leadership and habits to stay sustainable and consistent when it comes to your business. It's like, just imagine the amount of clarity that you've gone through, like Zoom trainings with me. Imagine that 100 times. Getting them with me, I cannot even, I don't even have the words, because being with me is just different. It just is. It just is. And you already know this is the first experience, in-person experience that I'm doing. You know it's going to be big. You know I'm going to go all out. We're going to laugh. We're going to create content. We're going to cry. Like, there's going to be so much that you do not want to miss. In-person experiences have like absolutely changed my life. Unfortunately, I've had so many people ask, no, I'm not going to be streaming this long. It's not going to be repackaged. Where you get, since it's and since it's the first experience, since like transformation happened in the room, only for people that are in the room. So if make change around your schedule, make it happen so you can be in the room. And I'm glitching so much right now, but if you can hear me, okay. So if you guys want details for Empire Experience, send me a DM and I will get you the details. I will get you the link. Yeah, I glitched. I was just saying, if you guys want details to attend Empire Experience, send me a DM and I will get you the link to attend. Okay. So that is all I have for you guys today. Think about this, get out of your plateau, break your ceiling, because you can make it happen for you. Okay. I love you guys so much. And I will either see you guys in Monetize Social Membership or next week on Empire Creator Live Show. Until then, make sure that you guys stay unforgettable. Bye, everybody.